Spanning the globe, it takes us to the football hotbed of London, England, in Wembley Stadium, the site of Live Aid. The Rams a 3-point favorite over your Jaguars, total 44.5 points. If you're going to gamble, please do so, respectively, right? Don't take food off the table and wager it unless you know it's a sure thing. And if you do know it's a sure thing, hey, send it our way. I tell you what a sure thing is right here on a Wednesday, middle of the week, middle of the month. How about Twin Peaks? That's where we are, and it's on Atlantic. We're going to be here for the next 2 hours. They got $4.50 Dirty Blondes, Naughty Brunettes, all right, Twin Peaks IPAs, and Twin Peaks Light. Okay, 22 ounces, only $4.50. You can also pick up a Philly cheesesteak and fries for $10. Come on over. We're going to talk Jaguars football for the next 2 hours. We have some college ball to check into as well. John Osher will join us live next hour from London, where it's very late. Also, Gerald Ingram is going to join us in about 20 minutes, and we'll check in with the former coach on how the Jaguars are going to be able to get off the schneid after a very difficult defensive performance a week ago, and then certainly, what happened offensively. Can they do something now against this very talented pass rush that L.A. has? I mean, Byron Young, 7.5 sacks. Jared Verse, 3 sacks. They're going to be getting after the Jaguars, who have allowed 67 pressures and 10 sacks in the last 2 football games. All right, it's good to have you with us. I am here at Twin Peaks. My name is Rick Ballou with you each and every night, 6 to 8. Remember, on Friday, that will be 4 to 6 on AM 1010 during high school football season. R.J. Saunders with me out here, Dylan Denmark back in the studio. And, Dylan, it's interesting because last night during our show, I really was pretty long-winded on my opinion on what the Jaguars should do next when it comes to Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter, 59 snaps last week offensively, only 7 targets. It felt like it was a decoy. It felt like there were times where he was just running routes to take one defensive player out of the equation. There were times where he didn't even look back towards the football, knowing that it was not going in his direction. We had a conversation as well with Mark Duffner about this, and my opinion was it's time, okay? It's time to take off the training wheels. It's time to get Travis Hunter fully involved offensively. And you saw the one play where he made a couple of guys miss and he went 14 yards. You look at his other 3 receptions, and I get it, they're just trying to get him the ball, but it only picked up 1 combined yard in 3 receptions. And again, that was 4 for 7, not enough, only 15 total yards in this game for Travis Hunter. So lo and behold, Liam Cohen met the media today in London. He was asked about Travis Hunter, and he had this to say.
Scheming him open is part of it, is the number one, is my job, ultimately, our job as an offensive staff, to make sure we're putting him in the progression and putting him in the position to be number one, as a little bit more often in some ways. And then when he is the primary, we got to throw and catch. We got to make sure that we identify it, find him, be able to be at the right spot at the right time. We just had this conversation. So it's, I think it's a combination of a lot of those things that ultimately can all be controlled.
All right, first things first, and Dylan, I want you to pop in here, but he's very transparent. He doesn't need to be. That's pretty cool. I mean, he could have very easily said, yeah, we need to get him the ball and moved on, but he got into it a little bit. So they just had a conversation about it. They're aware of the fact that he has to get more involved offensively, and there also has to be, Dylan, some deep shots here. And this is what we talked about on Monday, and we even really got deeper into it on Tuesday. I think the time is now for Travis Hunter to become a priority. Brian Thomas Jr. is playing better football the last couple of weeks, so they're going to have to really concentrate on defending him as well. So hopefully that ends up being the case here Sunday morning early.
Yeah, no doubt. And I was going to say with the Brian Thomas Jr., that's not a story as it was the first couple of weeks in the year. If it were still a controversy, him and Trevor not getting on the same page, That's no longer the case. And you've seen with Travis Hunter with that deep shot he had against Kansas City. It's he can make these plays, and we've seen a couple of times in the first couple of weeks where you force feed him a couple of times on a screen, but for him to be utilized fully, you've got to be able to take deep shots down the field.
Yes, and I read an article today that I believe it was John Shipley with SI and his Jags Wire. John does a phenomenal job. I believe it was John who wrote about 3 things that need to happen, and he pointed out the defense. I believe that it was Shipley. If not, I do apologize. But putting him on Devontae Adams, we know that Puka Nacua is not going to be able to give it a go. It's an ankle. I mean, 2 huge outs this weekend. Devin Lloyd, who's arguably been playing to a Defensive Player of the Year level so far early on this year for Jacksonville, didn't even make the trip. And it looks like Puka Nacua with the ankle, there's a slim chance that he is going to be able to give it a go, but most of the insiders are saying that they expect him not to. It was an interesting situation where they said that he should play. He should be the guy who D's up, against Devontae Adams. And certainly in a very limited situation, you look at what he did this past Sunday when he did didn't match up against Jackson Smith and Jigba. They took him out, and we saw what happened, okay, with the newly acquired Newsome. I thought Buster Brown did a decent job when he came in. He had a couple of defensive breakups. So this is going to be interesting. I mean, it really is. And, the guy's played over 80 plays now in 3 games. I think he has the ability to do it on both sides, but here's what I'd like, and I know that it's easier said than done. But instead of being a decoy, instead of being out there for 59 offensive plays where there's only 7 targets, why not be out there for 39 offensive plays if there's only going to be 7 targets? Now, if you're going to double-digit him, which I would love to see them do, he's getting 10, 11, 12 targets a game, then the snap count will continue to increase on the offensive side of the football. But, I can remember years and years ago talking about Reggie Bush. Reggie Bush wasn't putting up the numbers that was expected at New Orleans, and they were like, yeah, but he's such a great decoy. They always have to be concerned with him, and it frees up other guys. I don't want to compare Travis Hunter to Reggie Bush. I just don't, okay? But I hope that is really not what happens here. I mean, if you look at what he's done so far during the season, it just hasn't worked out so far. Let me find it here. 20 receptions, 197 yards. I mean, an average of 9.8 per, and 11 tackles, 4 assists on defense. So, I'd love to see a little bit more of he's a star, put him up against the stars. Give him an opportunity to really grow on offense and target him. If you throw an interception, you throw an interception. Okay? It's going to happen in this league. And also with him D'ing up on the defensive side. So going to be pretty interesting to see exactly what does take place as far as this is concerned. And, to me that is going to be really a lot of fun to check out. All right, I'm stuttering here because I was looking to see if the injury report was released. I forget about the timing out there in London. I mean, they're what are they, 5 hours ahead of us?
Yeah,
Is it
5
11
hours.
o'clock out there? So it's 11:09 London time. I would assume with the game being earlier that the injury report would be out on this Wednesday. Maybe it's still one of those deals where it gets pushed back a little bit extra because of the fact that, obviously Los Angeles is out on the West Coast. And Jacksonville has dealt with that quite a few times so far this year with the West Coast. The later the injury report comes in, I'm sure of only one of just a few people out there. I'm definitely in the minority when it comes to the injury report. But to me, it's always been important. I tell you what else is important here, Twin Peaks. Good crowd. We invite you to come on by. Again, $2, I'll make that $4.50 Dirty Blondes, Naughty Brunettes, Twin Peaks IPAs. and Twin Peaks Light, only 22 ounces, or it is 22 ounces, but only costs you $4.50. Then they got $10 Philly cheesesteaks in fries. I had a feeling maybe that's the way. I know you a little bit, RJ. Maybe that'll be where you lean a little bit later on, that Philly cheesesteak.
It may be, although at the same time I am off the wagon, man, trying to lose a little bit of weight these days. So I can't dig in like we used to.
So you're on the wagon.
On the wagon.
Yeah, not off the wagon.
Not off.
If you're off the wagon, you'd be doing a dirty blonde and a naughty brunette right now. It only costs you $4.50 a piece.
That's a deal for anybody who wants it.
22 ounces worth. So come on by, say hello to RJ Saunders here at Twin Peaks. All right. Gerald Ingram is up in 8 minutes. I will tell you the star of the show is brought to you by the good folks over at Shmunez Vision. My eyes are 20/20, and you always want 20/20 eyes when you're at a place like Twin Peaks. All right, I can see high above that the beers right now are at 28.7 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, if I didn't have bad eyes, I wouldn't be able to see that because it's clear across the restaurant and bar. 20/20 is important. You're driving home right now, your eyes may be nowhere near as strong as they were when you woke up this morning. That's common. How about 20/20 for the rest of your life? How cool would it be to have laser eye surgery, never having to worry about passing out and, scraping your contacts out and looking for your readers? I know how problematic that can get because I'm not a candidate for laser eye surgery, but it's very affordable, and you may be. Tell you what I did 9 years ago. I visited Dr. Neil Shmunez. He said, Ballou, you need surgery immediately. I'm like, what are you talking about? My eyes are fine. He's like, they're not. You need something removed in your right eye. Set up an appointment. He performed surgery the very next morning. There's never been an issue, never been a setback. 37-plus years when it comes to surgery with Dr. Neil Shmunez, Catherine Shmunez, John Hunt. Those three doctors right there, regardless of what the situation is, they're going to answer each and every one of your questions, and they will also be the individuals, those doctors, who perform surgery. Check them out online. Go to Shmunez Vision. You can also go to Instagram and get all of the testimonials as well at Shmunez Vision. Okay, one Florida State note. Two Florida State notes. There's a battle going on right now between Norvell and Tony White about what to do with this defense. The 3-3-5 is not working, yet he was hired to come in and run it that way. Reportedly, Norvell, I was told, is looking to make a change. I think it's very hard to make a change with your defense, especially when you don't have talent and you are incredibly undisciplined. We'll see. They take on Stanford coming up late on Saturday night. Number two, right before I went on the air, I was told from an impeccable source that as of right now, there have been zilch conversations about a buyout for Mike Norvell. That is today, Wednesday, the 15th of October at 6:12. Nothing as of right now. Okay? That can change, but as of right now, they haven't even had a conversation. Coming up next, let's get back to the Jaguars. Gerald Ingram joins us, and we go into the night on this Wednesday.
Make Monday an extension of the weekend by talking football all day.
Oh, you're good.
We'll take apart the top games, key plays, and controversial calls from the weekend. Post-game Monday, served by Dandy Foods on 1010XL.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
You see that new welcome offer? Bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. I think we got to jump on this.
What's John Daly think?
I think you got to grip it and rip it.
Grip it?
And rip it.
Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook. Roll with us. New players bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Payable in bonus bets, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 and up and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
This is Jaguar Hall of Famer Tony Baselli telling you about Heritage of North Florida, Jacksonville's premier roofing and home remodeling company. With over 25 years of trusted experience, Heritage of North Florida has built a reputation for quality, reliability, and craftsmanship. Whether you need a new roof or updating your kitchen or bathroom, trust the pros at Heritage of North Florida to create the perfect place to call home. Mention Jaguars to get $1,500 off your next roof or kitchen remodel when you go to heritagenfl.com. Go Jags!
For your chance to win tickets to see Caitlin Clark, all-time women's college point scorer and WNBA star at the Florida Forum October 29th, text FORUM to the Lifetime Flooring text line at 641-1010.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. From GFL, Green for Life.
Okay, listen up, team. They're out to test our reputation as the best plumber in Jacks, so we gotta play like the experts we are. When customers call with leaky faucets, broken water heaters, toilet repairs, broken pipes, or any other challenge, we'll give them the solution fast. Now, who are we?
Roland Reese Plumbing!
I can't hear you.
Roland Reese Plumbing!
Now that's what a winner sounds like. Customers always win with Roland Reach Plumbing at plumberinjacks.com.
Rick Ballou here with a congratulations for John's Auto. They've been in business in Jacksonville for 40 years. That's right, going all the way back to 1985. Right now, they'd like to thank each and every one of you who's ever gotten their vehicle serviced at John's Auto. So, car, truck, or diesel, all makes, all models, whether it's a routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul, go to John's Auto on Arlington Road, johnautomotivejacks.com.
Don't ghost your carpet this fall. Hicken here. Right now, you can get your entire home zero resified from Jacksonville's Ultimate Carpet Cleaner and get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $139 plus a free haul for Halloween. Get it? There's something scarier than ghosts and goblins hiding in your home. It's in your air ducts. This month, take 50% off your air duct and dryer vent cleaning. Schedule your appointment at ZeroResJacksonville.com. Ask for the 1010XL special. Zero Res, spell it backwards or forwards. It spells the same. Zero Res.
Zero Res.
Ballou here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Back going to play some LA bands the remainder of the week with the Jaguars squaring off against the Rams. Yeah, they're back in LA. Have been for a little bit of time. Same goes, I guess, for the Chargers. Looking forward to going to Vegas in a couple of weeks to see the Las Vegas Raiders. I still have trouble saying that. Okay, tonight's show brought to you by Alexander Law Practice. Rick Alexander is going to give you direct individual attention. He's old school. He likes to get to know his clients, and if you have been injured and it happened and you are in a car accident and you may feel like you're alone, right? You're up against it. Your car is damaged. You may be injured. It doesn't matter what the situation is. You pick up the phone. You call Rick Alexander at 40-6600, and he's going to answer all your questions, all right? You never pay out of pocket, all right? Questions such as, my car needs to be fixed and I can't afford it. Bingo. Sounds like an outstanding question. He likes planning, the strategy, and the competition. He also keeps his number of cases really small so he can get personally involved in each and every one of them. So if this applies to you, it is a free consultation, 400-6600. You never come out of pocket with Alexander Law Practice. If you have been personally injured, take down that number, 400-6600, or go to alexanderlawpractice.com.
Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line.
Hello.
Your floor's missing piece.
All right, let's bring in the former running backs coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Won a couple of Super Bowl rings as well with Tom Coughlin and the New York Giants. You hear Gerald Ingram quite a bit on our radio station as well during the fifth quarter after Jaguars football games. Gerald, always a lot of fun. How you been?
Oh, it's awful. It's awful. It's awful. You know, you hate a loss. You really do. But hey, you got a chance to respond and regroup and find a way to win the game this week.
I can't stand the London trip. I did it several times when I was a Jaguars sideline reporter. What are your thoughts of international play?
Well, I mean, it's a great experience for them and a chance to showcase what we're all about. And, you know, I take pride in the game of football and all the other American sports that we do. But I think, you know, I was there in '07 and we beat the Miami Dolphins. It was, you know, it was like a bowl game without all the fluff and frizz and that kind of thing, you know. But it's a good experience for everybody.
Yeah. Wanted to ask you about logistics. I remember one year with Gus Bradley, we left after the game in Cincinnati and spent a week at the Grove. There have been times where we have left on Thursday to try to get acclimated. They left yesterday. What do you look – I mean, logistically speaking, for the players, what do you think makes most sense?
You know, to be honest, I mean, I could see it either way, but we spent the week there, and it was kind of nice to get away from the New York distraction. Mm-hmm. You know, the hustle and bustle of the players, you know, not knowing where they're going to be and running around and that kind of thing. So it was, I thought it was a good experience and good focus for the team to get away.
Injuries are part of the game, Coach. Both teams here dealing with stars who are going to be out. That includes Devin Lloyd. He did not get on the flight. Ventrell Miller is a very talented football player, but this is a loss for the Jaguars on Sunday.
Yeah, it is to a certain degree, and it's also it's a great learning experience because everybody in the NFL goes through it. I don't care who you are. You're blessed if you're not, and it's one of those things that you have to learn to fight through. Depth is an issue. It's always going to be an issue, and it's got to turn into a positive because you have to see it as a positive that somebody has a chance to rise up, get an opportunity, and make a difference, you know, for the team as well as themselves. So here's your opportunity. What are you going to do with it? Because you're either going to be here next year or find a way to be somewhere else next year.
Yeah,
so
no doubt
find
about
a way
it.
to help this team win.
I think Trevor Lawrence has played good football as of late, Gerald. You know, the offensive line, they have really been tested in the last couple of weeks. 67 pressures. I know the data changes depending on, you know, what particular company runs it. 10 sacks. And this is a ferocious defensive line that the Los Angeles Rams have.
Yeah, it's a very solid group, just like last week. You know, they had a couple players that disrupted things and really set us back up front. The 5 blocks of granite were the guys that were consistent over the weeks became inconsistent. So everything starts with them. Everything's going to finish with them. And both sides, offense and defense, has to do a better job. And they didn't play well enough to win. We're not getting enough pressures on the quarterback, and we're not protecting the quarterback well enough so he can progress and become better.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. Gerald Ingram, our guest, of course, former coach in the NFL, including right here in Jacksonville with the running backs. And you hear Gerald all the time on our radio station, including after Jaguars games on the fifth quarter. You look at the numbers, Josh Hines-Allen, not a great game, but if you look at the tape, I mean, he was doubled. He was getting chipped consistently by running backs. Would Trayvon Walker being on a pitch count and not clearly himself, just how alarming is that with the lack of pass rush right now by this football team?
Well, that's a normal thing to do on as far as your opponent to try and win. You got to take out their strength. And Allen is our strength. He's our leader. But other people have to rise up and play better. I mean, Eric has to play better. We have to get better, consistent play of our push inside. And we're down half a man. So now strategically you're going to have to do something different. You know, 4-man rush is not going to get it. And we have to pressure the quarterback so he does create turnovers. You can't let this guy, who Matthew Stafford is just like playing the guy last week, and if not better, is playing great football. So you can't let him sit there and pick your secondary apart in zone coverage. So they got to get the pressure. So they're going to strategically, you're going to have to blitz. Now he waited too late last week, but he waited enough that the defense played well enough to win by blitzing and doing what we did earlier in the year. So we have that ability to do it. He just will have to do it a little bit more, and he's probably telling his secondary guys, okay, cover because I'm going to have to pressure. There's not going to be as many people in coverage.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that because it was my next question. I remember we talked before the Cincinnati matchup, and, really the gospel was if you blitz Joe Burrow, he's going to tear you apart. Now, that sample size wasn't long because of the injury, but they did have some success there. So you pointed out accurately they waited way too late last week. I would expect this to be something that they try to do, early on in the first quarter, send different guys from different directions that try to rattle a very good quarterback in Matt Stafford.
Yeah, they're going to have to do something in the secondary, which, our aggressive play makes us better. And how we relocate our defensive down linemen may be key. I mean, we're going to have to move Allen around. So the offense can't just say, all right, this is where he is. And, our plays are dictated, where Allen is. Well, they didn't prepare for him to be more on the right side or the left side, or maybe he's in a 3 technique, but he's in a one-on-one matchup situation where, you have to do something with your best penetrating player because one guy has one club and you can't, it's, the heart is him, but, Walker's got to be on the field and maybe he's a wide 3 technique this week. Maybe he's somewhere else that he can be strategically, more responsible and do his job and add some pressure when they do want to play zone coverage. But they can't line up and Josh Allen, where he is and just say, all right, we're going to move a tight end over there.
Last week, as Gerald Ingram joins us, again, former Jaguars running backs coach, who also won 2 Super Bowls with the New York Giants. Last week, the feeling, in my opinion, was Jacksonville wouldn't be able to run. Seattle came in with a 3rd-ranked rushing defense and now up to number 2. L.A. gives up about 30 more yards a game against the run. Gerald, can the Jaguars rush the football against the Rams?
The harder offense starts with the run, not the pass. So, we came in saying that we have to find a way to run. I was in a situation where we played Baltimore, and they were the number 1 leading rushing team in the NFL. And we challenged our offensive team and say, hey, all right, we're gonna address this, we're gonna attack it, and we're gonna show our toughness. We ran for over 230 yards that day on a cocky Ray Lewis team. So if we can establish the run in any way, and that's why you got to be creative in the run. You got to find where the weak spots in the run and how to get to those weak spots. So maybe it's one back power, maybe it's counter, whatever it is this week, it's not the same. Okay, maybe it's something different they don't anticipate, but we can't just sit there and let them say we're going to be one-dimensional, pin their ears back, and let them go, and let our offensive line think that they're going to play in a retreat, in the whole second half. We're not good. We're not built that way. We're built on saying, striking people. Maybe it's changing the launch point. Maybe it's sprint out. Maybe it's 3-step drop. Whenever they're in a situation like that, we got to change the launch point of the quarterback so everybody becomes more settled. The quarterback becomes more settled. The offensive line becomes more settled. And I know Liam has addressed this in the meetings, and the number one thing he is probably addressing in the offensive line room and the tight end room, because they're going to be asked to block, okay, that we can't win if we don't win up front, period. I don't care if it's run, pass protection. It's got to be balanced. That's who we are. That's how we started, and that's how we're going to finish. So let's see how we respond.
Gerald, in Tampa, Liam Cohen ran two-back sets, the percentage was higher than a lot of teams in the NFL. Is this the week that maybe we do see two running backs in at the same time? I mean, you take Allen and you take Tootin, they're good in pass protect. Even if it becomes that, I understand it's one less wide receiver, but could we maybe see that on Sunday?
Well, I mean, usually that comes into play when you want to run the spread offense, and you can. You can run that system. I've run it. It's good, secure protection on both edges when you're in spread and split backs, and you can do some RPOs, and you can run the zone scheme, you can run a lead scheme, except for these backs other than Allen. Mm-hmm. Allen, being in blitz protection and those kind of things, he could lead block. I don't know if the other two, if they hadn't done it well enough. Now, what was great here at the Jaguars back in the day, we had Kyle Brady. When we could get nickel personnel and use Kyle Brady and motion him, flex him, just like you're in three wides, and we would motion him back in the backfield and lead block. I wish we could do those kind of things, to be honest. I'd like a two-back offense because now they bring 8 guys up front. It doesn't matter. You can run the boss play. That fullback blocks this extra strong safety in the hole. They don't take you out of a run and force you to an RPO when you want to say we're going to run no matter what. But I don't think an RPO is all that bad in three wides run because now Hunter can get involved in an RPO. He's blocking his tail off. Now, if they want to bring that extra guy who he's been blocking, you throw the seam ball to him. You see it on college football all the time. Yeah. You run the counter away from him. You do offsets there. Now you got your best one-on-one player, and that's a whole nother story in itself. No doubt. I got 3 tight ends on the field, who do you want on the field to win the game?
Yeah,
I'd rather have Travis Hunter on the field. He's going to make more plays. He makes people miss.
Yeah.
So you got to find something or formation-wise that he can be productive to win.
Yeah. We got 30 seconds for the hard break. We talked about it this week on our show, and Liam Cohen said it today. Apparently, priority is to get the ball to Travis Hunter. What do you see changing with him offensively this week? Maybe some deep balls?
Well, I think you're creating formations to create the deep ball situation. Maybe it's full vertical, and he's in the inside seam. Maybe it's on the outside finally, and he's running, a deep ball where it looks like a true run set. So that's why it's effective if we run the ball, Travis has a real good shot of being one-on-one to win upfield. If you're just in a normal pass set, they're going to sit there in off coverage, play cover 2. You put him out there, he'll be 2-on-1. That's just a throw. Oh, yeah, it looked like you threw to him. No, you want a one-on-one situation to see if he can, if he's got a chance to win.
Gerald Ingram, ladies and gentlemen, you'll catch him after the Jaguars game. Be earlier this week, no doubt about it. That'll be the 5th quarter with Leon Searcy and Ryan the Hacker Green. Gerald, always a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great evening, buddy.
There he goes. This guy will fire you up, huh? He's got that coach's mentality, and I love it. I love the ideas. Maybe a little something differently this weekend for the Jaguars offensively. Plenty to do. Live from Twin Peaks with you tonight till 8.
You don't need to bet everything on a Hail Mary. Just find a ride in your budget. Because Southside Kia is now Kia on Atlantic. New name, new location, same great deals. And we have the perfect place during the Kia Fall Savings event, like a new Kia payment free for a full 90 days. Or take advantage of financing rates as low as 0%. It's always a touchdown when you shop the best deals in town. Kia on Atlantic, your coastal Kia connection.
For complete details, call 904-250-0587.
Awaken 180 weight loss. Awaken 180 weight loss. Hacker here. I always talk about the guidance, the great coaching I get with Awaken 180 weight loss. My coach Kate has given me tremendous guidance, has talked me through the process. As a result, I lost over 100 pounds. I'm still on the maintenance program. It's absolutely fantastic. Well, for the month of October, if you call Awaken 180 weight loss, you will get a free consultation. A free consultation during the month of October with Awaken 180 Weight Loss. If you need to start your weight loss journey like I had to do something. My life was not pleasant at 317 pounds. Awaken 180 gave me my life back. If it's time for you to get involved with your weight loss, go to awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com, or call 844-346-1800. And in the month of October, get a free consultation with Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
What's happening, folks? It's your main man, E.T., of course. And whether you're biking through shaded forest trails, casting a line from Camp Chow Pier, or enjoying music by the St. Johns River, Clay County is full of ways to play. This month, experience off-road trails at the 2025 Crawling for the Fallen. Savor bold flavors and classic rides at Moose Haven's 15th annual Chili Cook-Off and Car Show, and celebrate the fall season at fall festivals all across the county. Find a full lineup at ExploreClay.com. Come on, somebody.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks. With over 1,700 five-star Google reviews, it was a no-brainer to have Closets by Design help us get organized at home. They create custom storage for every space, lifestyle, and budget. From closets to garages to laundry rooms and more. Closets by Design will transform clutter into seamless organization. Call today to schedule a free in-home consultation and get 40% off plus an extra 15% off with free installation, but only until October 31st. 18-month financing is available. Call 904-878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Jeff Lagerman for Napa Auto Care Centers. This football season, make sure your ride can get to that tailgate or travel to the away game safely and dependably. You can trust the ASE certified professionals at any one of the 29 independently owned Napa Auto Care Centers and the quality Napa parts they use. Napa Auto Care Centers can handle everything: oil changes, air conditioning, brakes, engines, transmissions. Napa Auto Care Centers offers a nationwide 24-month, 24,000-mile peace of mind warranty on most repairs. Find one near you at JacksNapaAutoCareGroup.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Live from Twin Peaks. $4.50, 22-ounce Twin Peaks Light. Wow. Just sounds good, right? How about a Twin Peaks IPA? How about the Naughty Brunette or the Dirty Blonde? Only $4.50, and they are 22 ounces. $6 Jaeger bombs. $6 classic martinis. What if they serve them in a dirty glass? You can get wine by the glass at half price for, I want some wine. Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. Whining is so fun. Isn't it great? Complaining. I mean, it's awesome. It's just, pouting's but pouting's like an individual thing, Dylan. You know, you can't pout in general. You can only pout basically to your significant other, and hopefully it creates a little something where you can complain about everything.
Yeah, that is true. If you pout, it's usually like if you're in a group, that kind of brings the energy down in the group. But if you complain, like other people can complain with you.
Yeah, you can't come into work and pout. I mean, it's not going to work. You can come into work and complain. I mean, I almost recommend that. It's healthy to get it out. But wine by the glass here, half price, and again, $10 Philly cheesesteak, man. I don't know, JJ or RJ. That cheesesteak. I mean, the picture looks really,
Is it calling
really
you,
good.
Rick? Is it calling your name, man?
Philly cheesesteak with fries. I mean, that's a healthy meal, and that's what I'm looking for. So
I see
Only
I see
$10.
vegetables on it. I mean, they're getting your daily dose there.
No doubt about it. All right, the injury report is out. And, two guys on this list didn't even travel for Jacksonville. That's Devin Lloyd and Quentin Morris with the calf and groin, respectively. They didn't make the trip. All right, Diami Brown, the shoulder, limited today. Robert Hainsey, the hamstring, limited today. Take it for what it is. Pro Football Focus said Jonah Monheim played the best game of anyone on that offensive line. Okay, and it was not a good day. They could not run the football, and obviously they just got blown apart in pass protection. There's been random numbers as far as pressures, but 17 quarterback hits and 7 sacks that we do know. Eric Murray, he continues to be on there with the neck. He was limited today. And Trayvon Walker with the wrist was full. All right, here's some good news. For the first time since week 2, right, Bayshell Tootin is not on this list, okay? And, we just had a conversation with Gerald Ingram about how physical this game is. I really think there's an opportunity here for Jacksonville to be able to run the football against Los Angeles. We knew going in last week that was going to be very difficult against Seattle, and that proved to be the case, right? I mean, this is a big-time pass rush that LA has. They have a really good young defensive line. I do think that the Jags should be able to have some success running the football here. Let's look at the Rams. They got quite a bit of starters who are up against it. Puka Nacua, we know that he's a game-time decision, but most believe he's not playing. And, whether they announce it early or we find out 90 minutes before kickoff, right now I would not expect that he is going to be a big part of this. Tutu Atwell as well with a hamstring, another wide receiver, limited today. Their backup back, Blake Corum, the ankle, did not participate today. Their starting right tackle, Rob Havenstein, with an ankle, did not participate today for the Los Angeles Rams. A backup tight end in Colby Parkinson, a concussion. He was a full participant today. And then a couple of linebackers. One of them is a starter, that is Omar Spites. His ankle, he was limited. Josiah Stewart was ill, and he did not participate today for the for the Rams. So there you go. This team, 6 games in, this game, it's really a balanced situation. These teams are both 4-2. For what it's worth, they're both 4-2 against the spread. Okay. The Los Angeles Rams averaged 23.3 points a game, which is 16th in pro football. The Jaguars averaged 23.2. So there's 1/10 of a difference there. The Jags come in at number 17. Defensively, the Jags have been a top 10 defense all year. They've been a top 5 defense all year until this past week where they slid back to number 7. They allow 20 points a game. And the Los Angeles Rams, 18.3 a contest. They are only allowing that, and it is good enough for 3rd right now in the NFL. So if you missed earlier, I really liked what Liam Cohen had to say, and there's been a lot of really cool things that this football team has brought this fan base and has brought this city. But I think there's so much more that this team is going to be able to do that's better moving forward, okay? And one of those is, without any question, the Travis Hunter situation. You're just not getting enough, right? He's not paying the dividends that you expected. And I don't think it's Hunter's fault, okay? I think it's the offensive scheme and what they've done. I think there's going to be a real good opportunity here because Brian Thomas Jr. is playing better football. Okay, he did have that huge 3rd down drop in the 4th quarter. The other one, again, I thought it was alligator arms. I thought he was hesitant. from the press box. I went back and watched it. Maybe, but, I mean, all sorts of people were defending him, saying he slipped, he prevented an interception. Either way, it was still 8 for 10. It was a very good day for Brian Thomas Jr. and almost hit pay dirt, almost did twice, even though you can make the case that was an underthrow by Trevor. I really believe that this is the opportunity to take some chances. I mean, instead of nickeling and diming, even if you run a go, and Trevor throws a pick like he did against Carolina going to Hunter, you got to give them credit for at least trying to make something happen. And I think this is the Sunday where we do see that with the top overall draft pick. All right, we got much more to do. John Osher's going to join us live from London. That will be at 7 o'clock. If you want to get on in, you can. 641-1010 on our text line. Brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. You can also get us on YouTube tonight. Just go to 1010XL into the night.
1010XL is your home for play-by-play of Bishop Kenny football.
After 2 road wins, the Crusaders defend their home turf against the Buccaneers. Bishop Kenny First Coast, Friday at 7 on 1010XL.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
Have you ever dreamed of owning a handcrafted cabin tucked into a 1,000-acre regenerative farm? Well, now you can. This is Frank Frangie for the farm in Okefenokee, just an hour north of Jacksonville in Folkston. With only 250 cabins at full build-out, it's a rare chance to live off-grid, but not alone, in a community grounded in nature, food, and purpose. The amenities include a 2,300-acre hunting lease. Learn more at okefarm.com. That's okefarm.com.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On October 15, 1966, Bill Russell becomes the NBA's first black head coach when he was designated as player coach of the Boston Celtics, winning in his coaching debut over the Warriors.
I know you love sports, so why not take that passion and make a difference in your community as a volunteer coach with the YMCA? Whether it's soccer, basketball, volleyball, or flag football, the Y is always looking for positive role models to help kids grow in both skills and character. Even if you've got no coaching experience, that's fine. We'll provide the training. Step up, give back, and be the coach that makes a difference. To volunteer, visit your local Y or fcymca.org.
All right, Prosser here, and I've been telling you about Chad and Sandy. They make the promise. Let me show you some of the proof. This is Nicoletta and Daniel in Panther Creek. We don't recommend this, but we bought our new house before we sold our old one. Then worst case scenario happened. Our old home failed to sell in a year with another realtor. Finally, we got smart. We hired Chad and Sandy, and they sold it in 10 days above asking price. These are the results you're getting with Chad and Sandy at chadandsandy.com. Area homes are selling, but you got to have the right people on your side. Maybe you want max price. Doesn't matter if you're buying or selling. Maybe you just want to sell right now. Well, fast, easy, and stress-free, that's what Chad and Sandy bring to you. They have this guarantee. They guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. They're the local real estate experts you can trust for all of your real estate needs. Go to chadandsandy.com today. That's chadandsandy.com, or call that help hotline, 904-414-6200.
Introducing the Jags Stack at Firehouse Subs. A sub so bold, we had to name it after the team that roars. Packed with protein and made to satisfy a football-sized appetite. It's stacked with honey ham, smoked turkey, and roast beef. Topped with provolone fresh veggies and our new Duval drizzle. Order the new Jags Stack in the app right now. Available for limited time at participating Jacksonville Firehouse Subs restaurants. The hottest subs in
Been in a car crash? I'm local attorney Rick Alexander, and I've made it our mission at the Alexander Law Practice to listen to you so I can fight for the best possible result for you. I've been practicing over 30 years, and our team focuses on guiding you through the entire process. And because fees and reimbursement costs come out at the end of the case, I will never ask you to come out of pocket. For a free review, call 904-400-6600 or log on to alexanderlawpractice.com, Jacksonville.
No more climbing ladders or tree shopping or untangling lights. Nope, Hume Flowers will take care of it for you this fall when you schedule their holiday home decorating team. This is JJ with 1010XL, and now is a good time to call on Kuhn Flowers. They'll do it all this fall.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season is finally here, and with that, hopefully comes cooler weather. And if you've been wanting to upgrade your outdoor living space and just haven't pulled the trigger, you should call the experts at Lifetime Enclosures right now. From glass lanais to screened-in enclosures, Lifetime Enclosures and Flooring is the best in the business. Give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Tell them Prosser sent you.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
You know the day destroys
Into
the
the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Little LA rock for you. Van Halen earlier, now the Doors. Let's see. 4 of my favorite top bands are LA bands. One a hybrid band. That means Fleetwood Mac, or Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham are from LA, but of course Mick Fleetwood and the McVies, John McVie and the late Christy McVie, came from across the pond. Then you had Van Halen, the Doors, and the Eagles. There you go. 4 of my top 10. Do appreciate it. Twin Peaks, man. Talk about appreciating stuff. Look at that beer. It's down at 27 degrees. How do you keep the beer unfrozen at 27 degrees? I don't have an answer for you, but they just look so incredible the way they come out. I don't know how they keep these glasses. It's like the old Schaefer commercial. You people old enough to remember Schaefer commercial? You know, back in the 70s where they said Schaefer, the one beer to have when you're having more than one. My God, I mean, marketing.
Too
so
young for that, Rick.
Oh, it was so great. It was like some of the most genius marketing of all time. Schaefer beer, the one beer to have when you're having more than one. And this old fella used to reach into the old school fridge and pull out a frothy, ice-cold mug, and he'd scrape something in it, like, I don't know, like we're maybe a number one, like we're number one or so. And then he'd pour the Schaefer out of the bottle into the glass. And, you know, I was like drinking milk at the time, but it was pretty special, Dylan. Telling you that right now. Marketing, if I could do it all over again, I'd be in marketing. No question about it. Florida State's offense, as we get ready to head to this top of the hour and bring in John Osher live from London, they have done enough to win. You know, 31 points last week should be enough to win. Cardinals defense, or the Cardinal, I guess I should say, even when it's plural, right, it still remains the Cardinal. It's kind of like deer. You're not supposed to say deers. Why can you say beer and you can also say beers? You know, it's weird how certain things just don't apply, whether it's singular or plural. That's the deal with the Stanford Cardinal. Okay, we're not talking about the Louisville Cardinals. We're talking about out on the farm. Well, anyway, they rank 113th in Division I football. They allow 418.3 yards a game. And get this, they average 6.2 yards per play allowed. I mean, that's 1st and 10. That's 2nd and 4. That's 2nd and 3.5. First down. So, yeah, I know the defense right now, there's all sorts of problems that are happening on that side. First of all, these don't have the talent, right? And going back and forth on this Tony White, Mike Norvell, who do you point fingers at? I mean, you brought this guy in to coach this defense. He doesn't have the personnel to coach this defense. So whose fault is it? Is it Norvell for hiring him? He brought one guy with him who's done nothing all year. I can't even remember his name. Williams or something on the edge. I mean, he's done nothing but eat and go to the bathroom since he's been in God's country. He's been terrible. I think it's James Williams. And, you know, you hired a guy for certain personnel. Jeremy Pruitt was a genius. Jeremy Pruitt was a DB coach at Bama. He came to Florida State, and he made changes based on the personnel that he had, which was NFL personnel. personnel. And then he went to Georgia, and he had to change things with more NFL personnel. That's the beauty of being a really good coach, is knowing how to coach to your players' strengths. So we'll see what happens there. Any changes going to come? I just think it would be difficult to do, considering just how undisciplined Florida State is. I mean, those drops that they took against a rookie quarterback. A true freshman quarterback, you have linebackers dropping back 20 yards. I mean, no wonder he was the leading rushers were for Pitt last week? A true freshman quarterback and a wide receiver coming off the IR or coming off the injury report, who tore him up for 150 in the air. He was also the second leading rusher. That's game planning. That's good coaching. See him, those drops that Florida State, and I meant drops in zone coverage, not dropping the football. That was good coaching there by Cade Bell, former JU quarterback, the son of Kerwin Bell. A lot of people believe he's going to be a head coach at some point fairly soon. He's done a nice job at Pitt. All right, enough of that, because it's getting me all angry. Let's bring in John Osher. Let's do that. We'll bring in the senior writer at Jaguars.com and get more into it. The Jaguars and the Rams, 9:30 this Sunday morning, right here in your home of the Jaguars.
Gator fans are known to get rowdy.
Especially us.
Pickett and Prosser here.
Join us for a first-of-its-kind podcast, Swamp Session.
Live stream from Voodoo Brewing Company.
Right after every Gator football game on the social channels of 1010XL.
Driven by Atlantic Infinity.
Our son Eric's a Division I collegiate baseball pitcher who was having shoulder pain. We took him to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and are confident that he's now on the road to recovery. This is Beth Anderson, and we love the care Eric receives at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Sports fans, this is David Garrard here. And if you're suffering from orthopedic soreness, make an appointment at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where everyone is treated like a pro.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Jacksonville was built on specialists.
We be special.
Now the Special Teams Player of the Week, sealed by Superior Plumbing and Pipeline.
Logan Cook served it up over the weekend for the Teal and Black. The Jacksonville punter had 8 punts on Sunday, totaling 393 yards, averaging 49 yards per punt. Cook sauteed, flambéed, and filleted the opposition all game long. And he's your Superior Plumbing and Pipelining Special Teams Player of the Game.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods, a Jacksonville family business for nearly 70 years. Heck, I've been talking about them for over a decade. The Thompson family secret, Dandy is never frozen. Always fresh baked bread with quality meats and cheeses. No dry, crumbly subs here, only soft and tasty deliciousness. When I see that logo with the little guy with the cane on the label, it tells me I'm getting a trusted brand and a quality sandwich. So do what I do, stop in at a Circle K and make yours a Dandy today.
Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, congratulating our Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Michaela Log, a senior swimmer, soccer, and lacrosse player at Fletcher High. Michaela is a member of the National Honor Society, an officer in Interact, and will attend the University of North Florida.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to our website, CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
The flagship station of the Jaguars, WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach, WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, Jags fans, Tommy Mack here. Crown Royal is the official whiskey of the Jacksonville Jaguars. This season, it's not game day without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. Whether you're at the tailgate, in the stands, or watching from home, Crown Royal is the reason and the reward for coming together. Grab a glass with Crown Royal Rig at a stadium near you, because we'll be sharing the generous spirit with fans across the country. Crown Royal, fueling game day with generous spirit. Visit crownroyal.com/Royal Rig on the Crown Royal Rig Tour. Please drink responsibly.
After an accident, you may have an x-ray that looks normal, but you're still in pain. That's because soft tissue injuries like sprains and tears don't show up on x-rays. And if an insurance company doesn't see it, They may not believe you're hurt.
When they don't take your pain seriously, we fight back. We know doctors who are experts in diagnosing soft tissue injuries. They can help us prove that your pain is real, and we'll seek to get you paid for all of your future medical expenses.
Farah and Farah, Jacksonville.
Universal Roof and Contracting presents the Offensive Player of the Game. Universal Roof and Contracting. The difference is universal.
Brian Thomas Jr. was a force for Jacksonville on Sunday. The teal and black wideout recorded 90 yards on 8 receptions and would also score a touchdown on what was a great day for him. Number 7 for BTJ doesn't stand for lucky. No, he's just that good. And he's your Universal Roof and Contracting offensive player of the game.
Homeowners, storms don't wait, so why should you? Protect your home and your wallet with Universal Roof and Contracting. Save up to 20% on roof replacements and repairs now through September 30th. Financing is available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting, protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com. 1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. It's time for Oh No's with Jaguars.com's John Osher. Oh No's. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Served up by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
You know, trying to figure out where I would rather be. Right here at Twin Peaks on Atlantic, where they have $4.50 22-ounce dirty blondes, naughty brunettes, Twin Peaks IPAs, and Twin Peak Light for only $4.50, or at the Grove in London. That's where John Osher is. Senior writer, Jaguars.com. Good morning to you, John.
Yes, just turned morning, and yeah, it's a strange schedule, as you know, Rick. You've been over here for this, and it throws you off. And it's certainly, I was up at 4 this morning. I napped today, Rick. I'm not a big nap guy, so it's an odd schedule. Maybe tomorrow will be normal. So
now the Grove
sleep schedule.
Yeah, the Grove to me was a little bit like I could see maybe a Stephen King thriller based out of the Grove. Have things changed there since the last? I guess it was after that game with Cincinnati when we went with Gus Bradley for a week. Have things changed at the Grove?
No, I actually I had the same thought. We were getting ready to shoot one of our shows today, and I said, I wonder how many slain bodies there are around here. I mean, because it does kind of feel like something you would see out of a movie where maybe they didn't show anything, but it was just sort of implied that there had been some bad deeds happen over the last 100 years.
I think the best way to describe it to our listening audience, golf fans, guys who love golf, if you've ever been to Stream Song in Lakeland, that would be the description I would give the Grove there in London. There's nothing near it.
Oh yeah, I mean it is not. People ask me a lot, hey, did you get out to London? I'll go. I mean, probably Saturday I'll get downtown. I'm pretty sure I am. But it's by the time you wrap up, it's a hike downtown and back, and I'm not complaining. I mean, we're joking about the Grove. It's a nice resort. It's it's very different, but it's the lap of luxury. I mean, it's incredibly nice. So always enjoyable. It's a little bit of a grind with the time change, but I wouldn't trade it.
All right, all the concerns in the ditch, both offensively and defensively. This is a very good defense in L.A., particularly that defensive line when it comes to getting to the quarterback. So, John, do you believe the Jaguars can run at the Rams?
Well, yeah, you hope so. And I think that's been the biggest difference. Even you have 7 sacks, and a lot of that, I think, is um, you had a lot of bad down and distance because of the penalties. And even within that, you had a lot of hidden bad down and distance, I would say, because you're not running well. So everybody's criticizing the offensive line for the sacks, but I think it really started. They haven't been able to run quite as well the last 2 weeks, and hand in hand with that, 3 sacks the Chiefs got, 7 the Seahawks got. I think those two factors are very similar. It's hard not to get. It's a lot easier to hold up as a line if you're not a great offensive line. If you are not, if you're not running the ball well, or if you're getting good down and distance, can they do it? I think they have to. I think the way I've been thinking about it this week, I don't know that this is a great offensive line. Meaning, you know, you're not going to have a lot of Pro Bowlers, I don't think, off this line. But I think it's a good line that's good enough if it plays well, and it didn't play well to its standard last week.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. 59 snaps offensively by Hunter. And I thought there were times where he was clearly a decoy, not involved. I've talked about it the last couple of nights, and Liam Cohen addressed it earlier today. What was your gut feeling after that press conference, and how do you believe they're going to try to use Travis Hunter on Sunday morning?
Well, they've been talking about it for a couple of weeks, and they want to get him the ball. There's no question. There have been plays the last couple of weeks that there were options to get it to him, or there were ways to get it to him, and either Trevor couldn't get to the read, didn't see it. Sometimes with any receiver, it's not as simple as just feed him the ball, because if things are sort of slanted toward him, if the coverage is a certain look, you don't want to force it, because as soon as you force it, you get a pick, and everybody's like, well, why'd you throw it? And Trevor says, well, you told me to force it to Travis. So it's a little tricky in that. I think they're going to keep trying. I'm getting emails all week. Hey, they need to just have him focus on one side of the ball. That's not going to happen. They're going to keep trying to get it to him, and I don't think they're going to reduce his role. I think you've got to get it against the defense where he can get some man coverage and get some stuff across the middle. And I think defenses sort of know that they've been trying to get it to him short and have him turn it into big catch and runs. Maybe you'll see crossers. Maybe you'll see a little bit more downfield this week. But at some point, Rick, we've seen the moves. At some point, he's going to get one, make a couple of guys miss and go. You just keep waiting for it to happen.
Yeah, and I would think that this is a great opportunity for it, because it wasn't perfect for Brian Thomas Jr. He had the drop in the fourth quarter, but it was pretty close to it. So you absolutely can make the case that, Thomas is back to the number one wide receiver, and who knows, maybe there is an opportunity really here for Travis Hunter to take advantage of that on the other side.
Yeah, you wonder, and you never know till the game starts, of course. After the last couple of weeks, where I agree with you, last couple of weeks, it has looked like BTJ's focusing in the ball to his hands a little more. He had a drop the other day, and I don't know that he's going to be perfect on that front this year, but he's more potent and more reliable. And he had 90 yards, and he should have probably had, 130, 140? At what point, how many games does he have to do that before coordinators shade back to him and open it up for Travis Hunter? And then, maybe it starts going back and forth with deal with Travis. But one has to happen first, and I think we're closer to that, and I think that would help Travis Hunter have the defenses not shade as much toward him.
John Osher's our guest, senior writer, Jaguars.com, live in London as we get ready for this matchup coming up at 9:30 our time here, Jaguars and Rams. Let's wrap with the chess match here, because I love it. And, the personnel changes so much, but Gladstone is so familiar with L.A., Cohen is familiar with it, and Sean McVay, he had a couple of stops there. Is that just something to talk about, or how realistic is that, considering the way, attrition happens, and it's such a different roster from the last time that Cohen was there?
Yeah, I don't know if the roster, has that much to do with. I mean, Cohen clearly knows Matt Stafford. There's some things that he understands about some of their personnel. I think more than that, it just, when McVay turns on the film or when Rams people turn on the film to start scouting this game, they're not going to have to figure very much out about how the Jaguars want to do business offensively. Now, specifics you do, but I think Liam said it today where they kind of know how each other are going to think in certain situations, how they're going to philosophically go about trying to move the ball. Nothing's going to surprise them. You do sort of get into it. Is it going to be a case where they outthink themselves, trying to outthink the other guy? I don't know if you'll see a whole lot of that, but I think more than anything, it helps the other coach to be able to look at a scheme, offensive scheme, and there's not a whole lot of surprises or weirdness on what they're going to try to do in certain situations, how they're going to get guys open. So it's so hard to tell, right, Rick? Because we always talk about this kind of storyline before the game, and then when you watch the game, it's hard to know exactly what play. Hey, Sean knew that was coming, but I do think it factors in when you're game planning.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Make sure you get everything from John. He's live in London. Of course, he is the senior writer at Jaguars.com, and he'll have it all there for you each and every day, and certainly on game day as well. John, always appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Rick, thank you, buddy.
There he goes, and hopefully John can get back to his normal sleep pattern. That is problematic. I remember the one year I was up until, oh gosh, I don't know what it was, 4 or 5 a.m. It was when the Red Sox they were playing a World Series game against the Los Angeles Dodgers. And I was able to pick it up somehow on radio. I don't know what particular entity it was, but I got it, and that was great. There was also a string, Dylan, of like 5 consecutive years that whenever I went over to London, Florida State would lose. Okay? I mean, didn't matter. And that was like the blocked field goal, and Georgia Tech beat them, and it was just one after another. And, you're trying to follow it on your phone because in London, you may get like one football game, and that is it.
So what are the sports bars there? They're mostly soccer?
That's it. Cricket.
No.
Some rugby. Golf. Those would be the four majors. And, yeah, I mean, when we stayed at Wembley, it's really a rough part of town. There's a couple of nice, they're not nice at all, but they are for me. They're dive bars, hole-in-the-wall bars, which happen to be my favorite type of bars that are not Irish bars. And, most people went downtown to the real ritzy stuff. I'm not a big fan of that. I like to walk over to these type of places, but there wasn't a lot to offer around Wembley. Now, the one year we stayed at the Grove, that was totally different. I mean, you were miles. It's not like you could just hop in a cab and say, there's not even a gas station around. I mean, there's nothing. It's like, again, it's very comparable to Stream Song for those who have played in that golf resort in Lakeland. It's just miles and miles and miles. So if you want to go to London, you're probably going to be in a vehicle for close to an hour, and then it's going to take you that long, obviously, to get back. So that's why they do it that way. No distractions. They're absolutely on their own. Plenty of security there at the Grove. It's a very nice place, but it does have a little bit of an eerie feel to it. No question about that. We got much more to do. He's still in Denmark. R.J. Saunders is here. My name is Rick Ballou, live from Twin Peaks tonight till 8 o'clock.
1010XL's running game takes a giant step forward.
Well, Fred Taylor is the whole package.
Fred Taylor joins Dan and Jeff on the drill. Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein and Robbins and Monahan Jewelers.
When it comes to glass, you don't want average. You want flawless. Duval Glass and Mirror has transformed homes and businesses across Jacksonville for over 35 years. Frameless showers that wow. Mirrors cut exactly to your style. Fogged or broken glass replaced. Decorative tabletops. Windows replaced or repaired to stand up to Florida storms. All backed by a 100% guarantee. Visit DuvalGlass.com for your free quote. There's only one name for glass and mirror around these parts. It's Duval!
Jacksonville, get ready to spice up your night at One Night Taco Stand. Every Taco Tuesday, enjoy their mouth-watering tacos for just $3.49. And all day, every day, 2-for-1 house margaritas and 2-for-1 daiquiris. Find fresh Mexican street food, stiff drinks, and fun vibes at One Night Taco Stand with 3 Jacksonville locations in Mandarin, Orange Park, and Southside at Bay Meadows.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On October 15, 1966, Bill Russell becomes the NBA's first black head coach when he was designated as player coach of the Boston Celtics, winning in his coaching debut over the Warriors.
Lucas Tree Service is a certified arborist and a local family-owned business with over 45 years of experience. They specialize in tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for both residential and commercial properties. Get prepared for storm season and receive top-notch customer service from Lucas Tree Service, 904-241-3533. Online at lucastreeservice.com.
When storms start to crop up in the Atlantic or Gulf this time of year, having a solid plan to handle anything that sweeps through the First Coast is very important. That's where American Electrical comes in. Ensure your home's safety and comfort with an American Electrical home generator. As the area's leading home generator dealer and installer, American Electrical can offer you easy installation, simple maintenance, and peace of mind. Schedule an assessment by simply calling the team at American Electrical. They'll walk you through the best generator for your home or business. Log on, american-electrical.com.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
San Jose Collision is hiring for an automotive detailer and porter. If you're detail-oriented, dependable, and love working with cars, apply in person at San Jose Collision in Mandarin. Valid driver's license required.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Hey, it's Rick Ballou. I just upgraded my home with fantastic floors, and the experience was incredible. Rusty and the team brought the showroom to me with their at-home consultation. The whole process was simple, the installation was top-notch, and the results, absolutely fantastic. Take it from me. Don't wait. Visit fanfloors.com and schedule your at-home consultation today. Fantastic floors, where every step is fantastic.
Looking for a great place to enjoy some craft creations and soak up some scenery? Fernandina's Mocama Beer Company is a must-see and must-try. Nassau County knows it. Visitors need to find out about it. Mocama means near the big water where the sun is born. And if you visit their tap room in Fernandina Beach, you'll see how they've mastered equal parts precision and art in creating great flavors from IPAs to Pilsners, lagers, and sours, plus plenty more. Mocama.com, Mocama Beer Company. Start an adventure and find them in Fernandina.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Man, that beer tap is up to 30 degrees now, 30 even here at Twin Peaks. Still don't know how they are able to figure that out. Maybe Danny Van Sickle will know. He's with the Electrical Training Alliance. He's a very smart guy. He's a great teacher. Danny, how do they keep these beers not frozen if they're under 32 degrees?
They've got what's called a thermocouple, and that thermocouple is a device that goes back to several transistors, and it monitors up and down depending on the mercury.
All right, did the electrician put that in?
Definitely an electrician put that in, not a technician. Not to be confused with a technician. An electrician did that.
Yep. All right, and hey, I knew you would know. That's what's great. It's good to see you once again. How are things?
Things are good, buddy. Good to see you.
Danny Van Sickle, of course, is with the Electrical Training Alliance, and he's been here for forever, and big Jaguars fan as well as a Knowles fan. Let's begin with the Jaguars. They're off to a real good start, 4-2. They certainly did not play their best football Sunday. They have an opportunity to get back ahead of it before the bye if they can win out in London.
Yeah, Sunday was a typical letdown game. You see it all the time in this league. Big win Monday night, come back 6 days later. They just got outplayed. For me, really, the Cincinnati loss is probably the bigger of the two losses because if you win that game, now you're sitting here at 5-1. You weren't going to be undefeated. They're just not there. But to be 5-1 going to London, that would have been a feat. So that Cincinnati game, it really hurts a lot. Seattle, they had some players over there. Bad matchup on the newly acquired defensive back 2 days earlier. You probably didn't draw that one up quite like that. And, but again, it's the NFL. Nobody's going to be undefeated the whole time. You just have to pick and choose those losses and try to get the ones that aren't going to hurt you. If you look at both losses, they're not in the division. If you're going to try to, find a silver lining. And, those are ones that are really going to come back at you. And looking at the division, there's no reason why they shouldn't be able to win this division.
Yeah, the Cincinnati loss was really disappointing because Jacksonville was a better team, and they got a really bad call from an official, late in that game.
Travis Hunter, yes.
Yeah. The game 3 days ago, Seattle was a more physical team. It was the first time out of 6 games this year where you look at things on the offensive and defensive line of scrimmage. Seattle was the more physical team in that loss.
They did. They wanted it more. And the one thing that I kind of held on a little bit of hope this past week was it was a cross-country trip. Normally, those cross-country trips benefit the home team. But if you think about it, the week before, the Jaguars went cross-country to San Francisco and won. So it didn't work out there either. So you have to kind of throw out conventional wisdom. I think today was competitive as the NFL is. And you're just going to, the majority of the league is going to be a 500 league. And I think that's how they want it.
How's Trevor playing? You talk with a lot of Jaguar fans. I hear both sides. What's your make of what he's done, particularly the last couple of games?
Yeah, I'm in a group text like a lot of people are with friends of mine, and we have a little saying amongst ourselves. Trevor's going to Trevor. He'll do some boneheaded stuff sometime. He'll make some throws that just make no sense. And then he will fall down twice behind a line of scrimmage 3 yards away from the goal line, cut left, juke a defender, and then dive in for a touchdown.
Yeah.
It's how that is. You wish it would be more consistent. I'm not smart enough to know why for him to be as good as he was in college and for this to be his 4th year in the league, you would expect him to be more than what he is, to be quite honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm a very pragmatic person. If you look at the contract they signed him to, he's your guy now. It really doesn't matter. He's your guy. They're gonna roll with that guy unless something a catastrophe happens. So if that's the case, you try to minimize the bad, accentuate the positive, look at what he brings to the table. He's got the athletes out there. I'm very disappointed in Brian Thomas in some of the games he played in this year because I think that could have made a big difference. But, he does have Travis Hunter out there. I am surprised. Parker Washington has done very well.
Yep.
He's always been a preseason player, but now he's making plays in the regular season. And you just hope that this team can maybe get on some kind of roll and mature. He's got it in him. It just hasn't really shown the full 17-game effect yet.
I always ask you about the fans because you've been around here for forever and you talk with people all the time. Last year when we did this, before we even sat down, there was 0-4. Now this year, there's certainly a far more competitive football team. What's it like out there when you talk to these people?
It's fun. It's fun to be able to talk about the Jaguars, and you're critiquing them about a game that they should have won, and they're still 4-2. Right? Mm-hmm. Because so many times it's been the other way. You know, if you're a lifelong Northeast Florida resident like I am, you have seen the lowest of the lows. You know, anytime. Listen, I applauded the Urban Meyer hire because I thought that's thinking outside the box. I'm thinking Pete Carroll. I'm thinking Jimmy Johnson. I'm thinking that's what we're getting. And for a market like ours, they really need to think outside the box and do new and exciting things. Getting Urban Meyer was a new and exciting thing. Failed miserably. It was a catastrophe, right? They go out and they get Doug Peterson. I'm thinking, man, it's a Super Bowl winning coach. We got them to come to Jacksonville. You know, and I think right there toward the end, the personality just wasn't working out with the makeup of the team, and the team felt very flat. And with this past year, you know, I would like to tell you that I knew Liam Cohen was going to be a great coach. I did. I knew he was the hot name that got buzzed about. A lot of discontent about the former general manager that was here. And so I think it really was a bold move to get rid of the general manager and hire the guy who wasn't going to come because of the general manager. But this time it seems to have worked out, you know, so we're hoping that it'll you know, kind of stay on this trajectory, and maybe this will be the one.
Danny Van Sickle, our guest. He is with the Electrical Training Alliance. We're live from Twin Peaks. You mentioned Pete Carroll and Jimmy Johnson. I want to say those are two of the four who have won a national title and a Super Bowl. Barry Switzer and Jim Harbaugh being the other two. Urban Meyer ended up being a Bobby Petrino. Okay, he ended up being a Greg
in more ways than one.
Yeah,
in more ways than one.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, let's switch gears to Florida State.
Oh boy.
I saw you a couple of weeks ago in God's country before the Florida State or during the Florida State Miami game. Mm-hmm. They just, you know, kind of like the Seattle game. That was a better team. They did come back, and that was admirable. But as much as they are a rival to Florida State, Danny, I have a much bigger problem with their loss at Virginia because I thought Florida State was a better team. And then certainly 4 days ago, that loss against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, so listen, sometimes teams are going to be better than you are. If you look at the recruiting, if you look at what has become of Miami over the last several years, they're a better team. And listen, there's been plenty of years they were better than Florida State, and there's been plenty of years Florida State was better than them, right? So if you're a lifelong fans like we are, you kind of learn to live with that cycle. There's going to be a time when it's no fun when you're better than them.
No.
Whenever you beat them 10 years in a row, it kind of like you did in the mid-'90s back when they had like people like Kenny Kelly playing, it kind of took the fun out of it because you knew you were going to win, you know. It's not that case now. They are the better team. But the Virginia game and, of course, the Pittsburgh game, those are games you should win. You should beat them. And I'm not talking about having to go to overtime or having to wait till the last play of the game to do it. Those are teams, and in both situations, there was a chance in both times coming out of the second half that if Florida State had did what they were supposed to do, it's actually the end of the first half in Virginia, they could have went up by 2 scores, and then coming out of this last game into the second half, they could have went up by 2 scores if they had 2 full scores, not get the field goal, and really put pressure on that other team. Really good teams out there. They don't let the mediocre and I say mediocre, I don't think Pittsburgh's mediocre. I think that they're probably average. You don't let them hang around. You put your foot on their throat. You take their will away. You make them so miserable. They want to get this game over with. And like the great movie Shawshank Redemption said, hope is a dangerous thing, my man. And whenever you give these teams hope, they start to believe. They play inspired. We've seen this play out 1,000 times before. You have to strike. And you know, there's going to be a lot of conversation about the coach. You know, I've always been more of a pro-Norvell person, and a couple of reasons for that, because I genuinely thought that he was the right guy. But I'm also a realist, and I kind of throw away the 2020 season. I really do, because of COVID, wasn't able to recruit, shortened schedule. I get that. So it's year 6, even if it was year 5. By year 5, it shouldn't be like this. Mm-hmm. Year 5, you should be going into games knowing that you're going to beat the Pittsburghs, taking your chances with the Miamis, and thinking that you might lose to an Alabama and then maybe get lucky and pull one off like we did. It's year 5. The problem is this is probably the worst year to try to change coaches. There's already 2 major coaching openings on the board right now, UCLA and Penn State as of this weekend. And then you have some very attractive openings like Arkansas is going to be there, right? This is the worst year to try to find somebody. So it's easy to say, well, let's just fire the coach and be done. Well, the first question I'm going to ask you is who you going to get, because you're going to be competing against 4 or 5 other schools, and you know what competition does. It drives up the price, which leads me into my second part, the price. You got $60 million laying around? I ain't got $60 million laying around. The boosters have been paying a lot of money over the last couple years with renovations to the stadium, boosting the NIL budget, football-only facility like Jimbo wanted. How much more can you keep going back to the well and asking the big money people, hey, sorry, we need another $60 million? Not going to happen. Everybody knows the Florida opening is going to be, another opening that you have to compete with. So, and I tell you, the Penn States and the Florida, as much as I hate to admit it, they've got way more money than us. They've been around a lot more longer. Their endowments are much bigger. They have more boosters. You're not going to be able to compete with them on getting that national coach. So that's the thing I think about. The third thing you got to think about, and I fully, truly believe this, I think FSU is putting all of its resources and effort to getting out of the ACC in 2029 to 2030. And with the new restructure settlement that was agreed to between the league and the teams, they can do that for between $80 to $110 million whenever the year 2030 gets there. It really starts to drop down after that. Right now, it's like around 175. That ain't going to happen right now.
No.
I really think that they're trying to concentrate all their forces toward that. So if you're trying to come up with 95 to 120 million by 2030, do you really want to be throwing 60 million to somebody who's not going to coach your team?
Boy, but they're going to lose a lot of people like me who are going to have a heart attack watching this stuff if it doesn't change soon. I'm not a fan of Mike Norvell, but I heard right before the show tonight that there have been no conversations with the big wigs when it comes to the possibility of a buyout with Mike Norvell. Now, that could change based on what happened. I mean, they have to win Saturday night. I mean, Stanford is just a terrible football team.
So at some point, people that are much more in the know than us, they're going to do a cost-benefit analysis, right? They're going to look at, all right, how much money do we save by not getting rid of him compared to how much money are we going to lose by keeping him if he's losing the game at Stanford? So I'm not saying he's
and you
not.
hate that.
I'm not saying that they're not going to get rid of him. What I'm saying is it's not as easy as, oh, it's year 6, you haven't turned around, let's get rid of you and move on. The dynamics have changed so much, and you're competing with the team that is 110 miles down the road that has a lot more money than you. Lane Kiffin's not coming to Florida State. He's not. That's not a big enough fish for him. He wants to coach in the SEC. He's tailor-made for Florida, so you're not going to get him. So who do you really want to come into your program? You don't want to do another large buyout again, right? So you're not going to get an established coach unless you put some kind of buyout because they need that security. So now what are you going to do? Go out and get the hotshot coordinator? You're Florida State. You should not be getting the up-and-coming coordinator. You should be getting the established person to come over. I mean, bringing Bobby Bowden left West Virginia to come to Florida State in the 60s, right?
Yep.
So you find yourself in a really bad position because I really think Penn State getting rid of James Franklin this weekend, not only did it surprise a lot of people, I think it put a lot of other things in motion that just nobody thought, because nobody would have ever thought they would have got rid of him.
It's going to happen because if it's Matt Rule, then all of a sudden Nebraska opens. I mean, again, you're right. It's going to be a domino effect here when it's all said and done. Make no bones about it. Florida State hopes that Norvell wins some of these games so they can keep him around for at least another year. We will see what happens. All right, Danny Van Sickle with the Electrical Training Alliance. Here we are, mid-October. What's the latest? What's going on?
Yep, so we're hot and heavy. Man, we just breaking all kind of records with applications.
Wow.
We have now beat our spring application period.
Nice.
So the word about the Electrical Training Alliance is really getting out there. We want as many applications as possible because we feel like we can pick the best applicant when we have more people to choose from. But to get into our program, our deadline is November 6th. Apply to get into the program. There's an interview process. But if you get selected to get into our program, as much of our listeners know, no student debt.
Wow.
Only thing you pay for is the books. Used to, we only did class in the summer, right? So if you missed the summer deadline, you had to wait a whole year for another opportunity to get into the apprenticeship. Now we do a winter and a summer. So now we have a November deadline for a class that will start in January. So just in case you missed this past May deadline or maybe didn't quite get in this past May, you got an opportunity really to get in now and to start school in January. And if you look at all the work that's around town, obviously everybody knows about the Miller Electrics and the Cogman Brothers. We have over 10 other companies, Vansico Electric, Mardan Electric, J. Williams. We have tons of other companies that are all wanting to give these opportunities out for young men and women who want to come in, get a career, and really start a path to the middle class.
It is a trade that is not going away. For moms and dads out there listening, if your son and daughter, you don't see them heading to college, what a trade. If you're out there and you're unhappy with your current situation and your employment, certainly it doesn't matter. All ages, men, women, both have taken advantage of the Electrical Training Alliance and given themselves a fantastic career.
Yeah, it has done very well for me. It's been very well for my family. But I will tell you, the biggest benefit that I get really is 4 years later when we have our graduation ceremonies, watching these men and women come across the stage and knowing that they have set themselves up on a great career, a great way to make money, a career with dignity and respect, and those are things that helps out their quality of life. It doesn't get much better than that.
The deadline is November 6th?
November the 6th.
How do they get a hold of you?
Very easy. Go to the website, etajax.org. When you go there, we got pictures there. We got videos there. You apply from there, so you can just stay at home and apply. Don't even have to come into the office to apply like it used to. Everything is right there on the website. We have a great website administrator who handles all of our pictures, keeps everything updated. So all the information you should need right there on etajax.org.
Always good to see you, Danny.
You too, buddy.
Danny Van Sickle, ladies and gentlemen, the Electrical Training Alliance. We have much more to do. Take you tonight up until 8 o'clock.
This is The Swamp.
Keeps out to the fake, running right, blows in the end zone.
It's the other Bulldogs from Starkville.
Touchdown Gators!
Florida, Mississippi State. Saturday at 4 on Jacksonville's home of Florida Gators football. 1010 XL.
Hey, it's Travis from Cannons of Jacks. Thank you for trusting us for 55 years of custom welding fabrication and vehicle towing accessories. When you need a trailer hitch for the family car, a gooseneck for the company truck, or even RV towing options, call us at Cannons. We can do a bumper hitch, fifth wheel hitch, anything for safe, reliable towing. Come to Cannons of Jacks, where service is our #1 priority and we treat our customers as we like to be treated. Check us out online, cannonsofjacks.com.
Tired of plumbers trying to sell you instead of help you? At Superior Plumbing and Pipeline, we do things differently. We hire real plumbers, not salesmen, and we never pay commission. That means no upselling, no pressure, and no unnecessary repairs. Just honest, expert work at a fair price. So the next time you need a plumber you can trust, make the superior choice and call Superior Plumbing and Pipelining, where quality comes first and honesty is standard. Superior Plumbing and Pipelining. No commissions, just solutions. Learn more at SuperiorPlumbingJacks.com.
Truth Teller here. Small business owners need trucks and vans to keep your business moving. Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Westside has Ram 1500s, the heavy-duty 2500s, Pro Masters, and custom uplifts ready to work. Visit them on Commonwealth Avenue or go online, jackswest.com. Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Westside, proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars and your local partner for work-ready vehicles.
Bring your marketing to the next level with 3D Digital, your local video production and digital marketing agency that specializes in ensuring your brand story is seen, heard, and remembered. Our award-winning team creates professional content that will be launched across multiple platforms to precisely target your audience. Call us at 904-712-4004 or visit 3ddigital.com to define, design, and deliver exceptional results for your business.
Hey, Jags fans, Tommy Mack here. Crown Royal is the official whiskey of the Jacksonville Jaguars. This season, it's not game day without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. Whether you're at the tailgate, in the stands, or watching from home, Crown Royal is the reason and the reward for coming together. Grab a glass with Crown Royal Rig at a stadium near you because we'll be sharing the generous spirit with fans across the country. Crown Royal, fueling game day with generous spirit. Visit crownroyal.com/Royal Rig on the Crown Royal Rig Tour. Please drink responsibly.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
This football season, make Hurricane Grill and Wings your game day getaway. Sip on handcrafted cocktails like the Millionaire Margarita or enjoy an ice-cold Bud Light. Game day drink specials are here all season. Find a location near you at hurricanewings.com.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey, and I only like to recommend the best, which is why I'm proud to say that I chose Pella Windows and Doors for my own home. And now's a great time to upgrade your home with 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 years of interest-free payments on the best windows and doors in the business. Don't wait. Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or visit their showroom on Phillips Highway just north of Bay Meadows. For quality you can trust and savings you can't miss, that's Pella Windows and Doors.
Hidden Hills Golf Club wants you to know that our fall twilight rates are here. Plenty of time to get your round in before sunset for just $35 on weekdays and $39 on weekends starting at 2 p.m. Visit hiddenhillsgc.com to book today.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Miller Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
Well, we checked in live with John Osher from London and the Grove, the dwelling, if you will, of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And it's quite a place. I was lucky enough to experience it once for a week years ago. All right, the good news for the Jaguars. Well, let's begin with good news, right? Bashal Tutin not on the injury report this week. That's the first time since week 2. Diami Brown still on it with his shoulder. He was limited today. Robert Hainsey in the hamstring, limited today. Eric Murray in the neck, limited today. Trayvon Walker was full today with the wrist, with the club, able to give it a go. 2 other guys listed on here, they didn't even make the trip to London. That, of course, is Devin Lloyd, as well as tight end Quentin Morris. Quite a few starters right now. We'll have to see for the Los Angeles Rams. The big deal is Puka Nacua. Apparently, he's not going to be able to give it a go. That's what insiders are saying. He did not work today. Another wide receiver in Tutu Atwell. Watched him catch a couple of deep balls the last few weeks. Limited with a hamstring. Their backup running back, Blake Corum, with an ankle, did not work today. They're starting right tackle, Rob Havenstein, a DMP, all right, because of the ankle. And let's see, a concussion for a backup tight end, Kobe Parkinson. He was a full participant. 2 defensive guys missed work today. Omar Spites, a starter at linebacker with an ankle. He was limited. And ill was Josiah Stewart. He did not work. So there you go. We'll see what changes on Thursday. And I'm surprised more guys aren't ill. I mean, I know they're in great shape and they're in the prime of their life, but the travel is a nuisance. And, you know, going all the way from L.A., but if I remember correctly, I think they stayed in Baltimore and practiced for a couple of days at Camden Yards, and I think they were heading out today. It may actually be tomorrow. So, you know, L.A. may not even be there yet. I'll double-check on that. Of course, the Jaguars left on Monday, and I think this is a big deal. I don't think we talk enough about logistics, whether it's the West Coast or whether it's this type of scenario in London. I mean, you bring up the Jags, and the convenient response is, well, they go every year. You know, everyone's, well, no. This is a totally new front office. It's a totally new coaching staff outside of their special teams coordinator and tight ends coach, Richard Angulo, right? And the roster has changed by more than 50%. So I'm not saying those players have not made the trip at least once to London, but I think that plays a bigger part than what we actually talk about. And everyone has a different philosophy, right? You heard Gerald Ingram with us earlier in the program. Tom Coughlin and the New York Giants, they used to go for a week. Well, around here, it's been, for the most part, the Doug Marrone era, the Urban Meyer era, it was like Thursday afternoon, the Doug Peterson era, right? Gus Bradley, one year, again, left from Cincinnati, went out there for an entire week. So Jaguars didn't go for an entire week, but it's going to end up being 6 days when they did leave on Monday. Just wanted to give my 2 cents in on that. 0937, let's grab a couple of these. Rick, I don't understand why Jordan Travis is taking up for a guy. He put Milton in there over him. Well, that was a disaster. I remember the 1 year in Charlotte. I mean, at the kickoff meetings, he brought 2 quarterbacks with him. Hey, don't kid yourself. I mean, Mike Norvell has done nothing right at quarterback outside of Jordan Travis. And he deserves credit for developing Travis. Kenny Willingham had a lot to do with that as well. But, I mean, just look at the QBs he's had. And look at the quarterbacks that he has brought in, the Chubba Purdy's of the world, the Tate Rodemakers of the world, the Croman Hawk a year ago, who I still think has some talent. He's a backup right now at Mississippi State. Jordan Travis, I follow him on Twitter. He actually unfollowed me this weekend on Twitter because I was so hostile and so angry at Mike Norvell. And I understand it. He didn't want to deal with any of that filth. I'm going to give you filth. I'm irate. I don't like what's going on with this program. And I am never going to say the proper thing just so others out there won't get angry with me. I have a lot of respect for Jordan Travis, but I'm not going to change my opinion. It sucks. It's awful. All right, he's a bad coach, and that's it, period. There's nothing else for me to say. But I understand why Jordan Travis is defending him. He changed Jordan Travis's life. Jordan Travis, I remember the first time I sat down with Jordan Travis, and I asked him about, passing the football. And he said, I've always done that. I'm like, what are you talking about? Who's the old Gator quarterback, Kessler? What was his first name? Was it Brad Kessler? The old Gators quarterback, Dylan? A little bit before your time. I mean, we're going back 20-some-odd years, okay? But he was Jordan Travis's high school coach. And he said he always passed the football in high school. It's when he went to Louisville and came from Louisville, and Willie Taggart tried to make him basically just an option quarterback, a rushing quarterback, to begin with. I think was it Paul Kessler or Greg Kessler was played with Magic Johnson for Michigan State in 1979 when they beat Larry Bird. But anyway, former quarterback for the Gators, and I was shocked. I was like, can you please repeat that? He's like, yeah, I've always been a passing quarterback. So, Norvell gave him that opportunity, and Jordan Travis is always going to respect him for that. I mean, I know former players who love Jimbo Fisher, regardless of the way things ended up. They just loved him as a head coach. All right, final thoughts coming up here on 92.5. Eric Kresser is who I was thinking of. Thank you to my buddy Matt Hayes for standing by. But, yeah, I had to re-ask the question because I didn't think that was Jordan Travis talking to me because we just didn't know that he could throw the football. But apparently he did in high school. All right, final thoughts coming up. We get ready for Hacker Nation. He's going to join you coming up tonight at 8 o'clock.
You don't need to bet everything on a Hail Mary. Just find a ride in your budget. Because Southside Kia is now Kia on Atlantic. New name, new location, same great deals. And we have the perfect place during the Kia Fall Savings event, like a new Kia payment free for a full 90 days. Or take advantage of financing rates as low as 0%. It's always a touchdown when you shop the best deals in town. Kia on Atlantic, your coastal Kia connection.
For complete details, call 904-250-0587.
Mike Dempsey for Apex Roofing and Contracting of Jacksonville Beach. If your roof's got any damage, if it leaks, if it's just old and ugly, call my friends at Apex Roofing. But Mike, roofs are so expensive. It's true, quality roofing is not cheap, but Apex Roofing has up to 100% financing available, so you don't have to compromise quality for budget. Apex Roofing, no shortcuts, no stress, just quality work with financing available. Reach for the peak with Apex Roofing and Contracting in Jacksonville Beach. ApexRoofingFL.com.
Expert Automotive on St. John's Bluff Road has some of the highest Google reviews in Jax for a reason. Expert Auto never sells greed, only what you need. All makes and models are serviced at Expert Automotive. This month, get an alignment inspection for only $19.99. Expert Auto does major engine and transmission repair and simple maintenance. All services done at Expert Auto by our ASC certified training technicians. Call today, 374-3373, and ask about $50 off any service. Expert Automotive. We never sell greed, only what you need.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys Locksmith Service.
Chelsea here, ready to upgrade your windows or patio doors? During our fall savings month, get 20% off your replacement windows and patio doors. Plus, enjoy 0 down, 0 payments, or 0 interest for 12 months. Our Acclaim Impact windows are built for Florida homes, designed to help you save on energy bills by maintaining indoor temperatures year-round. Offer ends October 31st. Restrictions apply. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free in-home consultation. License number CGC 1527613. Renewal by Anderson, where comfort meets savings.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. I think I'm some kind of football prophet.
Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
I'm Frank Frangie for Ricketts Electric. Any good lineup needs power. When we needed power at the Bregan Baseball Complex and all the fields we have at Fort Family Park, we trusted Ricketts Electric. You're going to love these guys. The Ricketts family has been providing commercial and residential electric service for years. Call my friend Zach today at 904-320-5960. You can also find them on Facebook and at RickettsElectric.com. Ricketts Electric, the city's best power connection. Call them today at 904-320-5960.
Hey, 1010XL fans, it's game time, but don't get sidelined from the fun. The JTA Game Day Express is the smartest way to get to the bank on time. It's all sponsored by the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens. There are 5 convenient pickup locations across the River City, but remember, Game Day Express is cashless. All passes must be purchased through the MyJTA mobile app. Get your $10 pass today. For all of your game day needs, go to myjtafla.com.
Introducing the Jags Stack at Firehouse Subs. A sub so bold, we had to name it after the team that roars. Packed with protein and made to satisfy a football-sized appetite. It's stacked with honey ham, smoked turkey, and roast beef. Topped with provolone fresh veggies and our new Duval drizzle. Order the new Jags Stack in the app right now. Available for a limited time at participating Jacksonville Firehouse Subs restaurants. The hottest subs in
Julington Creek Pest Control has been serving our community since 1984. Our turf management program is an all-out blitz, granular fertilization, weed and insect control, keeping your lawn championship green all year. Quarterly pest control stops bugs before they ever cross your goal line. Family-owned, locally operated, expert technicians, top quality products, no gimmicks, just winning results. Julington Creek Pest Control, our family serving yours since 1984.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
All right, I have overshot the runway a tad bit here live from Twin Peaks, so let's bring in Hacker Nation. Hacker, what do you got going on tonight on the program?
Yeah, Rick, obviously preparations underway for both the Jaguars and the Rams. I heard you talking earlier. I just watched the Rams press conference. They have been at the Baltimore Orioles facility there at Camden Yards. I believe they'll be there tomorrow. And I want to say they're either leaving tomorrow night or Friday morning to head to London. Puka Nacua, based on Sean McVay's comments earlier today, I would find it very doubtful he's going to play. But again, the Seattle Seahawks were without 3 starters in the secondary last week, and that didn't seem to affect them all that much. So even without Puka, the Jaguars are going to have to come out there and play a good game, or they're going to get beat again like they did last week.
Yes, that's a good point. I mean, we talked about that all week, and even with those down defensive backs, they found a way to win the game. All right, who else is joining you tonight? What else you got going on?
Yeah, Leon Searcy will join me. You hear him every day on Prime Time. We get him weekly here on Hacker After Dark to preview the Rams and the Jaguars. We'll crunch the numbers with Daniel Griffiths of Action Sports, so he'll join us as well. And we will talk a little Florida State. I saw your tweet earlier about Mike Norvell, and maybe nothing is in the works yet, but Logan Robinson, the owner and founder of Noel Game Day, will join me to give me his thoughts on the 3-game losing streak and where Mike Norvell stands in the big picture over there in Tallahassee.
Yeah, nothing as of right now, but you got to believe that that is a very fluid situation and could change. Who knows if they lose out on the farm this weekend at Stanford. Hack, have a great show.
Thanks, Rick.
That's going to do it for us. We'll be back in the studio tomorrow night, 6 to 8. And then on Friday from 4 until 6, R.J. Saunders joins me. Friday, we'll do it on the AM 10 to 10. That'll be followed up by your college football kickoff show.
Oh, yeah, absolutely excited about it, Rick. Always loved doing radio with you. I mean, this brings back great memories when we used to do live remotes together back when I was your full-time producer. So anytime we're able to get together, man, it's always special.
All right, well, thank you for engineering it. That is R.J. Saunders. Dylan Denmark produced it. Thank you to Gerald Ingram. Thank you to John Osher and Danny Van Sickle. I am Rick Ballou. You folks have a great night. We'll talk again tomorrow at 6 o'clock.